Good evening and welcome. I'm Christian Hall and you're watching BTW21 News. And everyone, thank you for joining me on this Tuesday evening. Firstly, today we're going to talk about some gas prices around Henry County, what they are right now, and what is kind of to expected to become in the future.
Residents of Martinsville and Henry County are seeing higher gas prices, reflecting a nationwide trend. The surge is primarily driven by rising crude oil prices, supply disruptions, and seasonal demand. Why are gas prices rising? According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, EIA, crude oil price hikes are the largest factor, accounting for about 50 to 60% of the cost of gasoline. OPEC plus production cuts, combined with rising global demand, have reduced oil supply, driving prices up. Refining issues, supply chain disruptions, and higher transportation costs are also contributing to the increase. Additionally, gasoline prices traditionally rise in the summer due to increased travel and goods transportation, further pushing up local costs. Local impact in Martinsville and Henry County, gas prices have jumped 15% since the start of 2026, with the average price for regular gasoline hitting $3.75 per gallon in mid-March, up from $3.20 last year. Nearby cities, including Danville, are seeing similar price hikes due to the same regional supply issues. What's ahead? Experts predict that gas prices may stay above $3.50 per gallon in the near future, with possible spikes during the summer months. While prices may fluctuate based on global oil production and geopolitical factors, significant drops are unlikely in the short term. Residents are encouraged to carpool, use public transit, or consider fuel-efficient vehicles to help mitigate costs. For more information on gas prices and trends, staying informed about market shifts is key to managing fuel expenses in the months ahead.
And right now we're going to take a deep dive into the history of what actually is St. Patrick's Day. Who is St. Patrick and why do we celebrate it? Here's more right now.
Every year on March 17th, cities around the world turn green as millions celebrate St. Patrick's Day with parades, music, and festivities. But beyond the shamrocks and celebrations, the holiday has deep historical and religious roots tied to Ireland's patron saint. Who was St. Patrick? St. Patrick was a 5th century Christian missionary credited with bringing Christianity to Ireland. Contrary to popular belief, he wasn't actually Irish. He was born in Roman Britain. As a teenager, he was kidnapped by Irish raiders and enslaved in Ireland for several years before escaping. After returning home, Patrick later went back to Ireland as a missionary, determined to spread Christianity.
Hey, welcome to the show today. We got, I think, one of the best shows today lined up I've had in a long time. And because the fact is it's helping people and saving lives. And today we are saving babies. And if you ever dreamed of how to save a baby, you want to watch this show because we got Paula Wood and, matter of fact, Shane Wood with us today from the Martinsville. It's the Pregnancy Care Center of they live here in Martinsville. And Paula, I've talked to you guys right before the show, and I have worked with the Pregnancy Center for many years back. I think we looked about 15 years back, and I was impressed at the time. And the Pregnancy Center is right here in Martinsville. And what's the name? I forgot the name of the street right down.
Ferry Street.
Ferry Street,
Yep,
right beside the
beside.
hospital.
Yep.
The last driveway to the right, in building then, I think, on the right. But, I say when you talk about saving babies, people, when you start talking about abortion, people, they get perked up and get political in this thing.
Right.
It's not political. This is something that's saving lives. You're speaking for children that can't speak for themselves. And I guarantee you folks listening here, if your mom would have an abortion, you wouldn't be here listening to it. You think about that. Anyway, Paula, you are the executive director. And what is our main goal of the Pregnancy Center? What are we looking at?
So the main goal is to help moms and families who are facing an unexpected pregnancy. So unplanned pregnancy, we are there to confirm the pregnancy. We do pregnancy tests and ultrasounds so we can tell them how far along they are. And then we also have a program where they can sign up to get necessary baby items for up to 2 years.
2 years. And how many are we working with at this time?
Currently, it's over 60.
Over
it runs
60.
around 60 families that we're helping, 60 babies.
And, when a young lady, I would think it would probably be the parents first come in contact. I would think, the child will tell the parent how old, and if they know about you folks, it isn't the end of the world.
Right.
It's just something, it could be I think the brightest thing you could ever do. I still think the first time anybody holds their baby in their arms, that's the first time they really found out what true love is. Right. Just try it. You guys are amazing. And we're just trying to get the word out.
Right.
There is, when you're in doubt, shout. Let me find out about you folks, because you're there to help people. And look, get a pen and paper. So I want to give you a telephone number right there. And you parents especially that have young daughters, if something like this happens, don't shoot them. This is mistakes a lot of people make. And, and we've all been in that position and thought, but there is help. And it's not so dismay. Gosh, no, tell that daughter, just don't get upset, honey. I understand, I'm sorry it happened, and we love you, but let's make this right.
Right.
And call the pregnancy center. Go down there. Make an appointment. You have to make an appointment.
Yes.
Make the appointment. Call me. And go there and talk to Paul or the crew down there. And I guarantee you will leave that place feeling 100% better than you did before you went there.
That's our goal.
Aren't you so? What do you bring them in, and it's the first visit, okay? Mm-hmm. What happens?
So we get their information, we ask them a few questions, we go ahead and get a pregnancy test. Once their pregnancy test is positive, we'll do an ultrasound. Our staff will sit down with them and talk them through how they're feeling about their pregnancy, what their options are, what their support systems are. If they're involved in a church, if they need help with any resources in the community, we can connect them with those. Then we do the ultrasound, show them their baby. Their baby gets shown on the screen right in front of them, so we can see all the movements of the baby, the heartbeat. For anybody that wants to come with her, they are able to get in the room with her as well.
And that's on the first visit?
That's on the first visit.
Now, normally, how long does it take a girl to find out that she is pregnant?
So typically, they can find out actually before their missed period, but most of them find out after they miss a cycle. So typically, we see them once they're 6 weeks along. So that's about 2 weeks after a missed period.
Let's see, once the heart beating, all there's feeling.
It's 6 weeks.
6 weeks, there's feelings.
They have feelings at 10 weeks.
Can you imagine these doctors going in with these knives or whatever and killing that child? Oh my God, that is awful.
It's heartbreaking.
I mean, people just think about it. That child wasn't asked to be in this position in the first place. But there, I think if there's something really drastic happened, they do not want the baby. There are a lot of people that would love to have that baby.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure you guys discussed that with them down there. But I think after they see that baby, they be wanting to hold it. I can imagine that. And we appreciate you folks so much, what you do. And you write down your address, what is it?
314 Ferry Street.
It's 314 Ferry Street.
Mm-hmm.
And right down beside the hospital. So take this phone number down and please leave it. Keep it if you got a young daughter or know somebody has, or you might need this assistance. 276-634-5433. That's 276-634-5433. And give them a call, and they're available Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And call to make an appointment. You go down and talk to Paula and her crew. You won't. That's not a mistake you'll make, but I guarantee you. Even if you're in doubt, you say, "Well, I'll look at it, whatever." Abortion is the last thing you want to think about. that's when you're killing your baby. That's true. That's right. I mean, that's just raw fact. You're killing a human being, and don't do that because they can't holler and say, "Help me," or nothing, you know. But you can, and your parents out there. I want you to really look at this. You're the one that should be taking this information down to be sure if it does happen to your daughter. Lord help. I hope it doesn't. But in time it does, and when it does, don't get too upset. I mean, there is help on the way for you guys. Is there any cost to this?
No, everything that we offer is free of charge, including our program that offers the baby supplies.
And once you they come in and find out that you guys see the baby and all this stuff, then you discuss with them. They got to go to doctors so often, right?
Yeah. So we'll refer them to doctor's office and it gets in the records. And
Pediatrician office, whatever. Yeah. And so you take all the guesswork out, and you do all the work for them. Really, you got it already there.
Right.
And if you're in a position where you may not have the funds to support this child, or something of the matter, that's something you don't worry either, because they can help you with this. And all you folks listening here, it's not free to do it. It costs them to do whatever they do. It costs money, and if you can help in any way, donations is appreciated. Cash donations, whatever you can do to help, it's out there, and they do a lot of fundraising too. And I haven't gotten to Shane yet. Shane, welcome, Shane. We didn't make you up there with it. But Shane is Paula's husband, but he's on the board.
That's right.
And as a board member, you do kind of direct a lot of things that goes on in that. You guys, the whole board, you got 10 members on the board.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And what is the criteria take to get on that board? What is it?
Well, essentially, you go through an interview process. There's some discernment, that goes into that. A lot of prayer goes into it. The people that are considered to be a part of it, we want to make sure that everyone's heart aligns with the mission, and make sure that everyone is committed to doing whatever's necessary to really deliver the mission of the center. And that is to protect lives, to save lives, and to provide hope and help to the community around us. So,
that's that must be a nice thing to sit and just talk to your board members and things, the way that we can get together to help these unborn babies. As I say, this is a Christian situation where it's faith, and we need that. I mean, really. I think at these times it's needed more than a lot of cases do. These children I call them mostly what they are. When you bring the boyfriend in, there's normally he kind of biting his fingernails or something that they get pretty nervous.
Sometimes they're pretty nervous. Most of the time they're pretty excited.
They want
majority
the baby.
Of the time. Mm-hmm.
They want mostly, yeah. I can see why the girl would be more, because the guy, he'd love to have a, I'm sure he would, When I had mine, I was happy. I never dreamed I would ever experience something like that. But it's just that what you folks do down there with the board members, and you got to get together, and I say prayer is, I'm sure you have it before a meeting, and
oh yeah,
the way God works in things nowadays, it's a miracle. There's a lot of miracles out here. I wish more people knew about them. But I know every time there is a life saved by the Pregnancy Center here in Martinsville, it's a miracle. It is a miracle that has been done, and only God could do it.
Right.
And people need to know this. I mean, I'm glad you're on the show so we can talk and let people know that there is. I mean, gosh, you guys are miracle workers out there, and we're just. I'm sure we're not the only one to appreciate you. Because as I say, I've worked with your center for many years, but way back, and I loved it this way, and babies do need a lot of care, and after they're born, They need diapers. They need strollers. They need everything that a baby needs. They need. They don't come out, at the exception of children, and don't need nothing. You know, they don't come fully equipped.
No.
It takes a village, is the old saying. You know,
it's a village.
And fortunately, we have a village because we have a network of the community that rallies behind the center and makes all this possible. You know, they help us financially. People bring donations all the time, you know, diapers, wipes, formula, car seats, strollers, just everything that you just mentioned. You know, we have all of that available. And they can sign up, all of the moms and dads can sign up in the program, and they'll do faith-based courses. And as they go through those courses and complete the courses, they get points, and those points are redeemable in the boutique, which has every baby item they could possibly think of. We have clothing, we have everything there. And it doesn't cost mom and dad a dime. This is all stuff that has been provided generously by our churches. We're greatly supported by them, by community members. You know, individuals come in and that they offer help. And then we have a couple of grants that we're blessed to have as well, you know, that have been fostering and helping us through the process. So,
Well, with that being said, let's take a little break and catch your breath here, because there's a lot more good stuff we want to tell you about. Don't go away. We're going to be right back.
Planning for retirement? Let Beth Hale be your guide. As a retirement advisor with Futurity First Mid-Atlantic Advisors, Beth helps clients in Henry County and Martinsville and beyond prepare for the road ahead with trusted advice on retirement, life insurance, and health coverage. Reach her today at 276-806-4846. Futurity First Retirement. Life. Health. Where your future comes first.
Frustrated by that crack in your windshield? At Daniels Auto Glass, we don't just fix glass. We restore your peace of mind. Our certified technicians use top-grade materials and precision techniques to repair or replace any auto glass damage. Need us to come to you? Our mobile service brings our expertise right to your home or office. Don't let that chip become a crack, or that crack become a bigger problem. We are ready to serve you. Daniels Auto Glass, clear views ahead, peace of mind guaranteed.
Looking for your next home? Discover Hill Court Apartments in Collinsville. Choose from spacious 1, 2, or 3 bedroom units, perfect for singles, couples, and families alike. Enjoy community perks like a sparkling pool, a fun-filled playground, and on-site laundry facilities for your convenience. Comfort, affordability, and community, all in one place. Hill Court Apartments. Your next chapter starts here.
This is the best dental practice I have ever been to. When I came to Greensboro Dental Associates, I feel like a real person, not another number. I feel that my time is respected and that my voice is heard, especially regarding decisions about my dental health. Every person I have came in contact with is welcoming, kind, and very skilled. Trust me, this is the place that you want to go to.
Greensboro Dental Associates, proudly serving our community for over 50 years. Give us a call so we can help you achieve your best smile.
Remember when stores had a little bit of everything? At West Franklin Mercantile in Rocky Mount, we still do things the old-fashioned way. From handmade toys and Carhartt bibs to garden tools and work boots, you'll find something for everyone. We'll even special order just what you need. Visit us at 1380 Franklin Street, open Monday through Friday 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. West Franklin Mercantile, where tradition lives on.
Hey, we're back here with Paula Wood and Shane Wood for the Pregnancy Center here in Martinsville, and we've been talking about how you can help these young folks that has made a mistake in their life, and it's you got 60 something.
It's right around 63.
And you know, I think a lot of good things you can do, parents, is talk to your children when they're children and explain what's all about out here. And these things can happen if you don't watch what you're doing. I mean, parents need to take responsibility. We find nowadays that's not the case. A lot of children I just don't like the sound of what happens to them out there. It's not good. But we want to make these children something good. You know, it's not because they made a mistake, folks. You know, we all make mistakes in our lives, but this mistake is the one that is, I think, is something we should look at very carefully and correct it. Because it can be corrected. And I guarantee you, parents, grandparents is great. I'll tell you, it's something it's great to be. And you call the Pregnancy Center, make an appointment. If you're in this position out there, you out there, and you need this help, call them. They're not going to disgrace you. They're not going to come in and say, what a fool you. I mean, they're here to help you. These people are God-loving people, and they want to help you, not hurt you. So please give a call at 276-634-5433, 276-634-5433, Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5, and call them if you have that problem. And I talked to one of the associates down there, or Paula. I guarantee you'd be glad you did. Just go down, make an appointment, go down. And it don't take a lot of your time, I don't think. But if you want to, before you go, ask your neighbor, do they have any diapers left over?
That's right, yeah.
Anybody in the church, you going down to the pregnancy center, it'd be nice to bring, I'm not joking, but it can happen, you know.
We'll take them. We'll take all the help we can get.
Matter of fact, I'm going to spread the word at our church right now. If you got any extras at home, you don't need to bring them down here. I'll take them over there. We'll get them to them. But let's help the center. Because you guys are helping a bunch of folks. And 60-some people's lives, that's saying, what a miracle. If you could be anybody could be a part of saving 60-some lives. That's saving lives. That's not, from the get-go. And if those babies in the future could ever learn what you did, I guarantee they'd be back hugging your neck, thanking you for what you've done. And so would the parents, I'm sure. Do you have any feedback from parents that have had the baby and left you, don't need you anymore?
Yeah, I mean, we have several moms that have come and they've been repeat customers of ours, repeat clients of ours who have come with multiple pregnancies to get assistance. Diapers and wipes and formula are very expensive, so any way that they can help save costs, they absolutely will dive right in and do their program.
Well, formula, that is every baby needs formula, and so if you're walking through the aisles of a grocery store and you see some formula, you don't have babies, you know somebody's going to have one. You got 60-some young ladies out there that going to be needing formula within 9 months, that's for sure. Pick up whatever comes in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, whatever it is. Anything you can do. Hey, I bet you would take pacifiers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anything that you think a baby would need. If you got something sitting there that your baby is gone and don't need more, you want to know what they say, well, I need to take this to Goodwill. No. Don't think of Goodwill when you got babies. Think of the pregnancy center.
Right.
Yeah.
And it could be a tax write-off, I'm sure, if you take it down there. So there's a lot of ways you can help out there, folks. You take volunteers too, don't you?
We absolutely do. We have a few volunteers. We have some that clean our center. We have some that volunteer to be on staff. We have some that come in and help arrange things whenever we need, and we have some that volunteer for our fundraising events throughout the year.
Well, as I say, if you have any more fundraisers and let me know in advance, we'll get you on here. And that's because I want everybody to have fun raising funds. That's it, for a good cause. And I just know we got some good-hearted folks in our community.
Yes,
They're good giving folks, and if they only knew how they could help something like this, they wouldn't. They would hesitate. Because I know in a lot of cases, matter of fact, that I'm gonna see if I can find a little way to help you guys, some way or another, besides here. Because I'm just so delighted with you folks. I love babies.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nothing better than a little born baby, and I just, you guys are, as I say, you're an exceptional group of folks, and I'm glad we got you here. Let folks know that we do have it here, and you've been here a long time.
Yes, they've been in the center since 2009, so about 17 years.
How many years?
17.
So
It'll be 17 in March.
So I got in on you good right at the beginning almost, but the beginning. But it's just that I can't think of a better situation to if you want to donate some money or clothing or anything for babies. What a great way to do it, and you just if you go down there and talk to these folks, I guarantee if you talk to them, they will enlighten you on what this stuff does for them, how many babies they have already saved and are saving. And so on the board, you guys do discuss on ways on fundraisers and this sort of stuff.
Absolutely, yes.
What else do we do on the board?
So that's pretty much it. I mean, we try to figure out ways of being able to get out here and get the message out to more and more people. We work behind the scenes, to support the needs of the center, and we will get out and volunteer as well, when it comes to the fundraising events and everything. We need boots on the ground, so a lot of the board members are active, very active in doing so. We have one coming up that'll be the golf tournament this year. We do a golf tournament annually.
Where's it at?
It'll be at Chatmoss.
Chatmoss.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll have all of the dates and everything coming out really soon for that. May the 1st is gonna. Yeah, we've decided the date for it, so it's May the 1st this year.
So we ought to get you back in sometime in April, maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll make a note of that, and you get to remind me. Because I'm getting to the stage in my life, sometimes I forget a couple of things. But I can be reminded. I can write it down. But that's a golf trip. Everybody loves to play golf. I mean, I got a lot of folks at our church that love golf. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, any way that we can save money or make money for this group of folks, it will not go wasted. I guarantee you. You got 16, 19 on the way. It's costly. Don't get me wrong. It takes money to raise a child.
It does.
And the day they're born, they start costing money. But they also start making people happy and enlightening people's lives and making the world worthwhile. And that when everything else going bad, ain't no better than a little hot baby smiling at you and hollering at you. But you guys, I tell you what, I should, if I was younger, I'd be working down there. I would to help me out. But look, folks, take this number down now. If you got any kind of thing you can donate, you got an old stroller laying around or something, or a car seat, or but I saw a car seat sitting in the middle of the road one day. Somebody sat out there or something. But anything that you think that they could use, give them a call. If you ain't got a way to get down there, I guarantee they'll find a way to come and get it. I mean, this is how simple it is. And the telephone number to call is 276-634-5433. Give them a call Tuesday through Friday. Right. Tuesday, Thursday. Yep. Tuesday, Thursday, 9 to 5. And tell them what you got. And I say, if you can't make it down there, they'll find a way to come and get it from you. And but again, Paula, you know, you are the executive director, and you got a lot on your shoulders, girl. I tell you, But what a shoulder to have it on. I mean, I'm glad they got you to do it because you are an exceptional young lady.
It's an honor.
You're a nurse practitioner, which that gives you a lot of insight on a lot of things, and on the medical end of it too. And if the babies are you before they're born, if there's any problems, this how God works to put you guys together to make something good. And I can't see anything. We got about 2 minutes left. What would you like to close with, Paula?
Well, I mean, I just want to say that, not only do we help moms and families, but we also help the mom that has chosen an abortion. We'll do post-abortion counseling to help them walk through that and kind of get through that grief and regret that she may have. We also help those moms too. Well,
can you imagine after they have an abortion, some of the feelings they have afterwards? That they need some help there, I'm sure. And of course, Shane, I'm glad you were there with your board and making things happen and doing some good stuff, making these fundraisers fun and exciting.
Yes, sir.
And we just want folks to know what it's for. And I think if they knew what it's for, saving the life of a baby, most people won't hesitate. And we do need to get the word out there.
Yes.
And I'm glad I'm in a position to help do that.
Thank you so much for having us.
You made my
today.
day, and I appreciate it. And with that being said, hey, don't forget this telephone number one more time, 276-634-5433. You have any leftover diapers, strollers, or car seats from babies that's done gone and too big, and you don't know what to do with them, take the Pregnancy Center love to have them, and it is a tax write-off. They do the same thing as Goodwill, but better. So please think of the Pregnancy Center when you get rid of some baby stuff, and you'll be glad you did. And again, I'm glad you joined in today, and until next time, as Paul says, so long, God bless you. And I do hope God blesses you as much as He has me. And if He does, you're really blessed.
Welcome to Clarence's Steakhouse in the heart of Ridgeway, Virginia. At Clarence's, we're proud to be a family-owned restaurant where every meal feels like home. Whether you're starting your day with a delicious breakfast, enjoying a leisurely lunch, or savoring a mouth-watering dinner, we've got something for everyone. Indulge in our perfectly grilled steaks, fresh seafood, and homemade specialties that keep our customers coming back for more. Plus, our friendly staff is here to make your dining experience unforgettable. Bring your family and friends and discover why Clarence's is the place to be. Join us today for a meal that's made with love. Clarence's Steak and Seafood House, where great food and warm smiles meet. See you soon.
Welcome to Martin's staff here. They always make you feel welcome. He's an all-around good person, and he is an amazing dentist that helps keep my smile smiling.
This is Martinsville Family Dentistry. Smile, you're in good hands.
You already know we double up at Autos by Nelson, and now we're taking it to the next level. You'll still receive double the warranty on all new vehicles, but now we're offering triple the peace of mind. With free towing up to 125 miles and no collision deductible at our body shop for any new or used vehicle. It's just one more way we're tripling up at Autos by Nelson. Do you know her?
For nearly 30 years, Drake Extrusion offers you the personalized service and flexibility of a custom supplier. With research and development based on 2 continents, Drake is on the cutting edge of polypropylene fiber technology. We work daily with polymer suppliers to improve existing products and meet the challenge of new end uses. We not only value our products, but we also value our employees. For more information, email us at info@drakeextrusion.com or give us a call at 276-632-01.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Twilight Talk with SSRC, the agency that you love to hate, but are secretly glad it exists when you need us. I'm Tamika Whitfield, the Executive Director, and this is the space where we get real about domestic violence and sexual assault. We talk about the work that we do, the resilience that it takes to do what we do, and we reflect on hope, healing, and faith. So here's what I need you to do. Grab a seat, grab a snack, tell a neighbor, tell a friend, but most importantly, lean in and let's have some serious and honest conversation. So let's get started, shall we? When we hear the word bond, B-O-N-D, we often think of closeness, right? Trust, maybe even love when you hear the word bond. But not every bond is a healthy bond. Sometimes people become emotionally tied to harmful or abusive relationships through a process called trauma bonding. What is trauma bonding? It's when repeated cycles of hurt and reconciliation create a powerful emotional attachment that feels hard to break, even when it's damaging. And though that may sound sad, it's a real fact. But today, we're going to unpack what trauma bonding is, why it happens, and try to begin to understand some of the steps that we can take toward healing from it and being freed of it. So why are we discussing this today? Because sometimes what we call love is really trauma in disguise. And until we're able to name it, we will never be able to heal from it. So stay with me, stay with me. Let's define in depth what it means when you hear the term trauma bonding. So trauma bonding is that emotional attachment, right, that develops between a victim and their abuser. Again, through cycles of abuse, reward, and intermittent reinforcement. It's not about weakness, it's not even about choice, but it's a psychological survival response. And so we've talked a lot about how our body responds to trauma, but this is another way that we respond. It's the survival response. Trauma bonding often explains why survivors stay with the abuser or they continue to return even if the situations are harmful and sometimes even detrimental. It's not that they want the abuse or crave the abuse or seeking the abuse, but it's that their brain and their body are wired to seek connection and safety, even if these places aren't the safest. So there's a cycle that creates the bond. I want to talk a little bit about the patterns that continue to keep the bond alive. There's something called idealization, and that's the relationship that starts intensely. What does that mean? Like love bombing, giving of gifts, giving promise, trying to be protective, maybe even overprotective. And this creates a trauma bond. Think about it, if you will. A person goes through something that they've never experienced before, that impacted them in a way that they've never had to deal with before. And you run to a person that gives you gifts, gives you promise, and gives you protection from it. The gifts and the promise take your mind off of it, but then they become protective. And that is helping you to feel like you never have to experience it again. But some of these things are only short-lived. Another piece is tension building. What does that look like? Subtle manipulation, control. This is where criticism begins. And then the abuse happens. What kinds of abuse? Abuse. We've talked about it before. Physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, sometimes financial. And then there's the reconciliation. What does that look like? It's when the abuser apologizes. They show remorse and more promises. They promise that things will change. Have you ever been there? Have you ever heard of this happening? Well, it's true, and it absolutely does. Oh, then there's a calm, honeymooning type of phase. Things feel good again. They're not abusive in this particular season. The bond begins to deepen. Here's the thing. You have experienced the trauma, but the person has exuded or shown the trauma. Both are traumas in their own right, but then you all bond over it. The bonding happens when, and I'll just make it a little bit more plain. You remember the Lifetime movies, and I'll refer to that all the time because I always say that when I went through my cycle of abuse, I was always like, it wasn't even like on the Lifetime movies, because when this happens on Lifetime, they get cars, they get houses, they get all of these wonderful and great gifts, right? But the real life of that, of what happens is when a person abuses you and they're feeling that guilt or remorse that we just spoke about, They will do things to try to make you forget that they were bad, that they did something to you that was hurtful, that they harmed you in any way, and will give you all of the things and do all of the outward expressions that will have you believing that it'll never happen again. And we fall into that cycle, we fall into that trap, we fall into that understanding that maybe this time will be different, right? Maybe this time he really has changed. Maybe he really didn't mean to. All the while you're thinking, what else is there for me, right? Where else would I have to go? Because 9 times out of 10, not always, but 9 times out of 10, you're living together, you're cohabitating, you're roommates, you're married, you're each other's person in this moment. But you're bonding even over a trauma that you both have experienced, but yet in different ways. Something to think about, isn't it? Well, the roller coaster of emotions is what keeps the survivor hooked, chasing the high of the good times and blaming themselves for the bad times. The unpredictability itself is what becomes addictive. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to a person that's on the outside looking in, but when you're actively living it and you're actively involved in it, then it's a chasing of a high that you can't really explain. And now ask this way: have you ever had close proximity or been involved directly or indirectly with a person who was an alcoholic maybe, or even a drug addict of some sort, whether it's street drugs or prescription drugs, whatever the case? In these moments, they're always chasing another high, the high that they received when they first encountered that drink or that drug or those pills, whatever the case. Always chasing that high, and in chasing that high, you get more and more trying to get back to that one place when it was that experience like you have never had it before. Even in relationships that are trauma-induced, right? As the person is trying to reconcile what has happened, even in their mind and in their body, and I'm talking about the person who has been abused, you're trying to understand what has really happened. And while you're trying to understand, you still love the person that inflicted the harm, right? And because you still love them, you're trying to get back to that place of normalcy, even if that place never comes. It doesn't stop the person from trying to get back there. And maybe in the mind of the abuser, and I don't know this, but maybe in the mind of the abuser, they may be too trying to get back to a sense of normalcy, which means a place where they never feel like that they have to lift their hand again or talk down to you again or abuse you in whatever the ways that they have done so. It becomes a repetitive cycle. Sometimes a cycle of trying and failing, let's be honest. But nevertheless, it's a cycle. And so we're talking about these things because we have to explore deeper reasons beyond just leaving. We want to say, why didn't you just leave? And want to ask ourselves, why didn't I just leave? There are just some other things that can happen when a person is experienced or has experienced a domestically violent or intimate partner violent situation. There is the chemical addiction. This is the dopamine, the oxytocin, and the cortisol. They all play a role. The brain links the abuser to both the comfort and the survival. It's not just plain text. It's not because we think that it should be this way than it is. There are things that are not on the surface. It's beneath the surface and under the surface that are really playing a role. I hope you may remember and have joined us in previous episodes where we had Kelly from Kelly's Counseling to be with us. She kind of talked about what happens psychologically and the chemical imbalance that happens because a person has experienced abuse and or trauma of any kind. Then there are also attachment wounds. Well, childhood trauma or neglect can make unhealthy attachments feel familiar or maybe even normal. Here's what I want you to understand. Sometimes because of our childhood, or sometimes because of what we've experienced before the current point and place of abuse, we've gone through things that kind of lead us back to this familiar place, this unhealthy place, because even though we don't want to go through it, don't want to experience it, don't want it to happen, something about it makes it an attachment of familiarity. We don't want to admit it. We don't want to say that it's happened, but it actually does. And I don't want to get to a place even in these settings where I offer like opinion to what I think. Sometimes I will, but kind of in a safe place, but not to a place where people will be calling saying, you said this and da-da-da-da. No. We won't do that. But we all, myself included, have our opinions about what happens in these situations that will make a person stay. But I just want to, of course, bring the understanding that there is more than the just getting up and leaving. There's also hope and denial. What is that all about? That's when the survivor clings on and holds on and hangs on and remains hopeful to those glimpses of the good that they're accustomed to seeing in the person, that they're accustomed to receiving from that person that they met from the very beginning. We all hold on to those loving places and that loving feeling, as the songwriter once said. But that's not always present. It doesn't mean that we don't hope that it shows up again. It doesn't even mean that we wouldn't find ourselves in denial about the fact that it's gone. Yeah, that's something to really consider right there. I think, and I hope that a lot of these conversations will help to remove the judgment that we often offer to those who have been abused, because we don't know what their minds are going through or the trauma that their body has experienced that makes them react this way, respond this way, continue on in this way. We have to be considerable that the way one person responds or reacts is not absolutely the way another person will. But then there's also fear and isolation. Abusers often isolate the victims, making it feel impossible to leave. Oh boy, I could have a whole nother conversation about that, but I won't bore you with my life story. But isolation is a real thing and a true thing. And several episodes ago, I said that if you're close enough to a person that you're wondering about their home life or their situation with their partner or spouse or boyfriend, whatever, and you notice that they aren't around like they used to be around, aren't showing up the way they used to show up, dig a little deeper and ask a few more questions, because something is happening that we need to be mindful of. Even when we know something isn't God's best for us, our wounds can whisper louder than God's truth. Healing asks us to trust His voice over that familiar pain, but sometimes we cannot differentiate the difference. And so I won't go on a spiritual tangent right there, but sometimes we do need to lean in more to the voice where people would say, something said, something said, something said. Lean into that, and that may give you clarity. That may give you guidance. That may give you a road and a path to better that you didn't even know was available to you. So there are some signs that you yourself might be in a trauma bond. Would you like to unpack that? I would like to. So this time is going to be used for reflection, not judgment. You feel loyal to someone who repeatedly hurts you or disrespects you. And I'll tap my fingers right there to give you an opportunity to think about it. Do I need to say it again? I probably do. You feel loyal to someone who repeatedly hurts or disrespects you. Trauma bond. You rationalize or minimize their behavior. What kind of behavior? The behavior that makes the scene become bad, that makes you feel bad, and makes the two of you look bad to others. You rationalize or minimize it and say things like, you know how he is, or he didn't mean anything by it, or it's not what it looks like, it's not what you're thinking. Have you ever had to say any of those things regarding your partner? Or are you the partner that someone has to say those things about? Trauma bonding. And then maybe you feel guilty for wanting to leave or for setting boundaries. What does that look like? You really want to leave the relationship because you don't feel like that your spouse, your partner, your husband, your wife has your best interest at heart, nor has safety in mind for the two of you. And you start to think about leaving. You start to think about, there's got to be more than what I'm experiencing right now. Or maybe even saying to yourself, I've got to get out of here. Or unless something really, really bad might happen to one or the both of us. Well, if you begin feeling guilty because you're wanting to leave, there's something deeper here. Could be, again, you guys are trauma bonding. It could be a sign that this relationship is filled with you bonding over, and I'll just call it this, badness, only because it started with the B2. You know, you're bonding over the things that have been bad for you all. Trauma bonding. What about the boundary setting piece? Do you feel bad about setting boundaries? Now, this question is for you. Why should you feel bad about wanting better for yourself? Why should you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, if you know that they may have you doing things that you don't really want to do? You feel like you might be obligated to do these things just to remain in the relationship? Would that relationship really be for you? Would there not be something else that's out there for you? Or maybe even time for you to decide what's best for you in your own time, in your own space, in your own reason and rationale. That could be very independent of anybody else or what anybody else has to say about it. Just asking the question. Hopefully, you'll begin to think on it. Or maybe you've begun to feel like that you can't live without them. Then my question for you would be, why not? Why don't you feel like you can live without them? What are they contributing, or what are they bringing that you feel like you can't live without? Maybe, just maybe, something about this relationship or something about a trauma that you've experienced in one way or another has you minimizing how you view yourself. Maybe, just maybe, this experience has you thinking about yourself in a way that wasn't originally intended for you to look at yourself as. Now your self-esteem is low, all-time low. Now you don't like what you see when you look in the mirror. Don't like the view of it at all. Could this possibly be, and think about it because everybody's story is different, could it possibly be because of what you've experienced while in relationship with them? When you think about that, would you then still come back and say, I can't live without them? one time in my life, I had to consider, if I didn't have this person in my life, what exactly would I be missing? But when I became truthful with myself and stood in my truth, because now I'm strong enough to, then I decided, you know what? It probably would be best for me to cut ties, sever the ties, go my way, and let them go theirs. Because what I was thinking was me feeling like that I can't live without this person, was me really not wanting to stand in my own truth. What does standing in your own truth look like, or how can it really begin? And I'll touch that quickly before I continue. That means loving yourself again. That means learning to believe in who you are again. That means building your self-esteem, knowing who you are, and knowing that there is a purpose for your life, and that there is a reason why you're still here. And so when we start to think like that, then that means that, I've got something to do with my life. I've got somewhere to go in this life. And if I set my sights on things that are far greater than my immediate situation, then that would say, you know what? This may not be what's best for me. Maybe there's greater on the other side. This might not be the best person for me. There may be someone else there that could be waiting for me to be free, because that is a freedom that comes along with that, so that I can explore what's next. These decisions are not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but they absolutely begin when you decide to love yourself past all of the experience that you have been a part of. What does that mean? Sometimes we have to learn how to forgive ourselves. Forgive ourselves for what? For the things that we've allowed, for the people that we've allowed to occupy our space that shouldn't have been there from the very beginning, for things that we've let people do to us that we absolutely didn't deserve, for sitting back and taking things when we should have stood up for ourselves. So can I just say that it's not always the man imposing or inflecting or infusing these things onto a woman, but sometimes women do it to men as well. And that's another part of trauma bonding. It goes both ways, man to woman and woman to man. But there are so many hurting and broken people in the world. If you wanted to define a trauma bond, you absolutely could. Would I suggest it? No, I would not. Because when you're bonding over such trauma, one day somebody's going to wake up and say, this isn't for me. And when you do, it's going to be harder than ever to break away and to break free. I've been there. I've talked to people. I've sat in one-on-ones where this has happened, and it the question became, what do I do now? Through the tears, through the pain, through the heartache, through the heartbreak, I've survived. They've survived. You can also survive. Back to the regularly scheduled program. Naming these patterns is the first step toward that freedom that we had discussed. Awareness is not weakness. Awareness is strength. So I hope that something that was shared can kind of give you insight to how trauma looks, trauma bonding looks, what it is, how it is reflective, how it shows up in your life. And though trauma may shape your story, it does not have to define your destiny. Where you've been doesn't dictate where you're going. God meets us even in the body's memories. The things that our bodies hold, the memories that our mind continues to replay, it's not to erase them, but God wants to redeem them. Every small step towards safety, connection, and hope is absolutely sacred work. I'm so glad that you tuned in today, and I hope that you'll keep on tuning in, because there is more here with Twilight Talk with SSRC. Let me say thank you for joining us today. Thank you for listening in. Remember to be good to yourselves, to be good to each other. And until next time, until we meet again, stay strong, stay connected, and keep showing up for yourself and also for those around you.
At Chopsticks, we pride ourselves on crafting the freshest, most delicious sushi in town. Our chefs hand select the finest ingredients, from the crispest veggies to the highest quality fish. Whether you're a sushi person or a first-time taster, our menu offers a variety of rolls that cater to every palate. Dive into our signature rolls and experience a symphony of flavors with every bite. Join us at Chopsticks for an unforgettable dining experience where tradition and taste come together.
At Sova Family Medicine Martinsville, our providers, along with their compassionate team, are ready to provide your entire family ages 2 and older with preventative and sick care. There are many services provided, such as hypertension, acute illnesses and injuries, annual, school, and sport physicals, diabetes and chronic medical conditions, and so much more. We are now accepting new patients. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sova Family Medicine of Martinsville is located at 110 Commonwealth Boulevard West, Martinsville, Virginia. You can call at 276-666-7328 or visit sovaphysicians.com/primary care for more information.
Welcome to Clarence's Steakhouse in the heart of Ridgeway, Virginia. At Clarence's, we're proud to be a family-owned restaurant where every meal feels like home. Whether you're starting your day with a delicious breakfast, enjoying a leisurely lunch, or savoring a mouth-watering dinner, we've got something for everyone. Indulge in our perfectly grilled steaks, fresh seafood, and homemade specialties that keep our customers coming back for more. Plus, our friendly staff is here to make your dining experience unforgettable. Bring your family and friends and discover why Clarence's is the place to be. Join us today for a meal that's made with love. Clarence's Steak and Seafood House, where great food and warm smiles meet. See you soon.
Remember when stores had a little bit of everything? At West Franklin Mercantile in Rocky Mount, we still do things the old-fashioned way. From handmade toys and Carhartt bibs to garden tools and work boots, you'll find something for everyone. We'll even special order just what you need. Visit us at 1380 Franklin Street, open Monday through Friday 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. West Franklin Mercantile, where tradition lives on.
guys, what is up, and welcome back to another racing video. Today we have traveled to Clay County, Kentucky for a legal street race. We just got here. There's some wicked fast cars on the property, some really big names, but this is what we're looking at right now. It's literally just a shut down street. There goes Nick. Hey, Nick. So it is a shut down street. As you can see, they got these barriers on the side. And we're just gonna be technically legally street racing today. So it's super cool. Shout out to our boy, let me turn it around. Shout out to our guy, Desiree Turner, for putting this event on and inviting us down here for media. Cannot thank that guy enough for setting this entire thing up and getting all these guys out here to do their thing. See who the baddest of the baddest is. We are going to get set up. I'll talk to a few people, show you guys some cars, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, a little bit of delay right after the drivers meeting got finished. It came a freaking downpour for like a good 10 minutes. This is the wet conditions right now. They're gonna try to get this thing dried up. I'm not sure if it's gonna be possible today, but I will say the road was super dusty, and if they can get this dry to run them tonight, all the dust will be gone, so it'll probably be a less fight for traction than it would have before. So, but they are just walking it, saying if it's even possible to get it dry. So I'll keep you guys updated. Boop, boop. All right, guys, it is 8:14. These guys are going up and down the track, making a few rips in some street cars. As you can see, it's getting decently dry. So we may be racing tonight, but if we look to, hold on. If we look to the horizon, it looks really black. So it says rain at 11:30. So we're gonna try to get a few races in, I think, but it's kind of uncertain right now. It's a little late, but we're just kind of waiting for the first pair to go down, so I'll let you know.
That guy show up to the Special Olympics with a stump toe, talking about, I got this. One bite.
Bird your clocks.
Look, y'all said y'all can't make no money in racing, so you got to make some money like this. Hey, how much you down? Bring in the golf cart. When he comes back by, throw it back on there. Talking about? He ain't even from Canada. That's Southern Ricky. You don't even know. Yep. He lives in a trailer park.
All right, guys. It's 11:30 at night. We have been to one more little drizzle of rain, and again, they've been trying to get it dry. They've been driving up and down the street here, and we just got the call for all-wheel drive in the vicinity to come to the front and get ready for their first round. So we're gonna kick things off with first round of all-wheel drive. All right, guys, so about to get started here. I'm down here at the line. Looks like we got a supercharged F-150 all-wheel drive car and an Eagle Talon first pair. So that'll be coming up first.
My 100, you're 50. 100 on forward.
They got all the rice in the state of Kentucky under the hood of this little car right here. Every drought, every grain of rice in the country is right there. In the gas station. Everything Dragon Ball Z. You got the lamp, the man mail lady on you right here in 1 minute.
All right, F-150 is going to take it for our first round.
Left lane, son. Drove around him.
Yeah.
Left lane drove around him. Left lane drove around him.
Who you got, Dennis? Who you got? I'll put my money on Riley. Who you got?
Riley! Whoa!
The next day.
All right, guys, so I think it's been about 24 hours since we talked. So last night, the last three pairs that went down of the all-wheel drive, right after it came an absolute monsoon down this street, and it's been like 24 hours, I think, right around 24 hours. So we're back, and it is, let's see, pull my phone out. It is 9 o'clock the next day, so
Where can we turn around?
we're gonna try to. They're still trying to get the road dry. They're about to be running a bunch of cars down here, so we'll eventually race tonight. And I got a feeling we'll be here until the morning and still be here Sunday. So we'll see what happens. Desiree and these guys are like trying their best to do what they can. But I'll continue to update you when I know more information.
Concert's better.
All right, it is 12:07 at night. They just called the race for tomorrow around 8. They were trying to get everything dry, but I don't think anything was getting it dry. It's cold and damp out here tonight, so they were dragging a tire and all the other stuff, but it was still not getting dry. So till day 3, and look at this dude. Man. Well, fellas, it's been one heck of a trip so far. So we'll be back in the AM, hopefully, for some freaking racing. So I can't promise you I'm getting everything because we have 9 to 5s Monday, but I will stay as long as I possibly can for you guys. But the next time you'll see us is tomorrow in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It is day 3. We just left the track. It is dry, but there is a ton of mud on the backside. So they're gonna work on getting that up from the track. And me and the boys stopped at this huddle house. We're gonna get breakfast and head back over there. So it's been an eventful weekend. I just hope we can get some racing done today so I can at least film something for you guys to watch. So stay tuned, and I guess more updates to come. I don't know. I'm gonna go in here in this huddle house and mess it up.
Day 3, guys, and
So good and tasty.
they say they ain't gonna race. And I done bet the barn on that they're gonna race today. So I need them to race because I can't lose on my, what do you call it? Livestock.
It is what time, fellas?
It is 11:30.
11:30, day 3. We are about to get started racing. The first 5 pair of small tire are on their way down to the bottom, and so are we. So we'll have, I know Mr. James Teague first round. I'm not sure who he races, but that'll be a cool one to start off the round with. So here we go. Mr. James is gonna go on to the second round of small tire. $30 is going to the next round, and we're gonna get the third pair going right now. left lane. The split bumper Camaro is going to move on to the second round. I've never seen it before.
He went to the finals down there backside of the Gangster's Paradise against Billy.
Plywood, they put plywood on the box, that'll work. We need a pallet and some plywood. I mean, they've got this car. y'all back. Right lane's your winner on that deal.
And again, we got $30 in the right lane going to the second round.
What is that? Slow them back. Yeah, let him go. We ain't gonna slow it down for nobody. Y'all pack him down here. I want to know, how many of them going in there that you think they like that? Hold your hand on it. retrospect, these two guys.
And Raggedy Ed is going to beat Ryan Mitchell and Casey Max first round. What an upset. Wow, Raggedy Ed going to the second round. Unfortunate, Ryan Mitchell's going to go home earlier than he thought.
I ain't gonna lie, this is the first. That's a bad man. That white car, that's a bad man. I'll tell you what. Get that over. You cannot be on that wall.
At the bottom and ran off on the track. They are going to go right now and check on her, but that's so scary.
You cannot be on that wall. That is why you can't be on the wall.
Nikki's okay. Secret. She's not even shaken up.
Right now.
Yeah.
All right, so I just talked to Nikki. She is okay, so thank God. She said she's gonna have to replace all her rear suspension because it's cooked, but good thing is she is okay. Jeez, that's so scary. It literally looked like when she came across, when she lost it at the end, she like hit the ditch and jumped like 20 foot up in the air, and then came down here. She managed to miss every single one of these poles and slide into right here. Golly, but she's okay. All right, and Mr. Newcomb is going to be going to round 2. All right, guys, right now we are getting to the first pair of our Pro Street.
same color.
All right, so the Sylvia in the right lane, 240, is going to move to the second round of the Extreme Street class. I think they're going to send a few more parents down. I'm not sure if that was all of them, but we'll find out in just a second.
Bug, power's good. What do you want them on? Yeah, I still got a pair of shoes and a push bar. Come on, get them up here.
So left lane Fox Body is going to win that by like 6 car lengths. I don't know if that Monte Carlo didn't have nitrous on or what, but that was a really bad gap. That was like the first one we've seen today. I think that's all of the Extreme Street, and we're going to get right into round 2 of Small Tires.
4:35, it's 10 minutes.
We can always be fucked up.
The only way we're going to get fucked up here is every section. But if we end up getting somebody, we can bet a little extra. Without the cross, who gives a cross? You come in front of us if you want. All around you. Both sides of there. I'm pretty sure.
You see it? It looks like you want to hold the other side. That's what we need, baby.
So that is all for the Extreme Street class. Next, we are going to get into second round small talk. Okay. And Charles is going to win that race with the little Tokyo Drift action at the end of the track. My goodness. Man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Mr. Boswell in the left lane, big block S10 is going to the round 3 small tire.
Oh my God! Yeah, but that thing was really near, man. How you? Oh my goodness! I spent so much money.
All right, Mr. James Tiki is going to go on to the 3rd round of small tire.
Yeah, Nick Green. I'm guessing he didn't make the cut. Is he not up here?
right, that is Mr. Andrew Lavender moving on to the third round of small tire. We just finished up round 2 of small tire, and now we are about to get into second round of the Extreme Street. First pair is